guys see a lot of evil in those books that you ordered, right? Stuff like that can affect your quality of sleep or your mood.
I can't function without sleep. I mean, sleep is very important to me, and I think I've always been like that.
You're looking good, body-wise. I mean, I know you told me you're not on Monjaro or Zempic. How's your diet like? What do you eat?
Yeah, so look, my diet, I do try to manage it. So I'll be honest, I'm not the most healthiest eater. I
You eat what you like.
eat what I like.
Deloitte Australia used the AI to write some of the reports. They got completely wrong. They had to throw them away and rework the whole thing.
Look, AI is very interesting. I agree with you. This is the way the world is going. You ask me what's keeping me up at night is that.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Off the Clock.
How do you deal with stress? How do you handle that?
Coping mechanism that I have is I go for a run.
Manage stress by obviously being moments like this. Directly saying I'm going off the clock.
Just even a night out.
I'm listening to my favorite music. I go into one of the studios at the gym and I dance.
Sip cocktails and rest and just do nothing.
I ground myself spiritually. The right amount of stress is good.
Anoop, welcome to Off the Clock. Let me be brief. Off the Clock is not about us. It's about our guests all the time, their personal stories, what they do off the clock. So I'm going to afford you an opportunity to introduce yourself, a little bit about who you are and the best way you can. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. So I'm Anoop Ninan. I'm 50 years old, which is a milestone. I think I'm very happy that I made it here.
50 is the new 40.
50 is the new 40. I feel like that anyway. I have 2 kids. My daughter is 17. My son is 15. So I'm quite active chasing around them. One does cricket, one does rowing. So as you can understand, that's my weekends. And I run a practice called Fovis Mazars. It's a mid-tier audit firm. It's global, and I run the South African and African operations.
Okay. Just following on very quickly on that, how often do you go on holiday? You're saying weekends you spend on following your kids doing sports and all that. How often do you go on holiday with them?
Yeah, so look, at least, so the good thing about being in at this age, there's always school holidays. So we plan the holidays actually upfront for the year. So we would go, we have a place in Zimbabwe, so we'll go there at least once a year. And then maybe one other holiday in the year. And look, I try to spend as much time as I can with them.
All together or individually most of the time?
All together, yeah. So I am divorced, so it will be myself and the 2 kids will be on holiday with my sister or the other family.
Family members?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what does that look like in terms of spending time apart from attending the rowing and you said your son does cricket, yes. So apart from cricket matches, what do you guys do? How do you get to connect with your kids?
Sheesh, so you're asking a person who's been trying to deal with teenagers who indulge in their devices. So look, I think it's very challenging at this point in time. But look, we try and spend time playing board games. There's one way I can get them off devices. My son is into soccer. He's a huge Arsenal fan like me. So
Nice.
that's how we connect.
Good team.
That way.
Good team.
Exactly.
Good team.
I've got good taste.
That's how you know someone is loyal. Like as women, we say, okay, if he's an Arsenal supporter, he's probably loyal.
The funny story, he wasn't always an Arsenal supporter.
Okay.
So how did you change him?
Well, look, when he was born, he was an Arsenal supporter. And then over time, when he first got into preschool and he saw all his friends were Man United supporters, he decided for that year he's going to be a United supporter. And I think quickly he realized that,
He's the only one.
well,
The
yeah, but
family.
also the dad's not going to buy him any shirts when he goes overseas. So I think he realized the loyalty is probably more important. So, yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's a pity my son is not here. I mean, not that I'm not enjoying interviewing with you, but this topic will make him boil up a little bit because I tried a lot to indoctrinate him into Arsenal, bought him the shirts, and when he was small, he still have that special jersey of Henry, which is now small, but he still have it. And then one day he decided Arsenal is losing too much. He's going to move on to Liverpool. I said, look, actually, we don't really leave our clubs, because they're losing, okay? It's like leaving home because, things are not good.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, he moved on and he's a Liverpool supporter.
Okay.
Which I still think you made a big mistake.
Well, yeah, let's see what happens after this season.
Okay. I mean, you in the kind of cutthroat audit space, which, you guys see a lot of evil in those books that you audit, right? And I'm sure, stuff like that can affect your quality of sleep or your mood at all, So how many hours of sleep do you do on average?
Yes, that's a very good question. I even tell everyone that I can't function without sleep. I mean, sleep is very important to me, and I think I've always been like that. So I try to get a minimum of 8 hours a night. Obviously, it gets a bit difficult with conferences, etc., and travel. But for me, optimal is 8 hours, and I try and keep it to that. It's, I think, one of the key things that I always try to make sure, the thing that I don't deprive myself of is sleep.
Okay.
So,
8 hours, that's quite a bit for a man of your stature.
Yeah, well,
Doing what you're doing.
look, I must say, if without the sleep, I figured that I am probably 20% less efficient. So it really is something that I've figured out over time that's one of the most critical things that I need in my life.
And I see you have an Apple Watch. Are there any other sort of wellness things that you're into that also just help you to, I guess, show up in full form for work and stuff?
Yeah. So look, what I try to make it my routine is I meditate. So I try and do a 20-minute session every morning. This is as I wake up. Before I even get out of my bed, it's 20 minutes. And I think that keeps me ready for the day. And look, I got into this many years ago, and then I left it for many years. And I started again this year. And the one thing it has done is, and I was taught, is that the only time that your mind is quiet is when you meditate. When you sleep, you're dreaming. So your rest that you need is in that meditation. And look, I think I've seen it. I've seen the efficiency. When I have big meetings, that's the thing that keeps me calm, gives me energy. It's something that I really think that's one of the key things that people today need to do, is find time for quietening your mind. I think that's a big thing.
So, I mean, one thing I learned in YPO, I know you in YPO as well, was we did those retreats and had a wellness guy who was crazy. We did the breathing exercise, and they suggest some mixing of cannabis and all that stuff that really take you to some place. But what I enjoyed the most was the breathing exercise. They just reset you in a way. Doing that 10 minutes or 15 minutes a day, either in the morning or before you sleep, is just amazing. something small like that.
Yeah.
Kind of,
Like the suggestion is twice a day. So you should do it in the morning, 20 minutes, 20 minutes in the evening. I don't always get to the evening one. But what I have done in YPO also is we have a centering exercise, so before we start our session, I mean, everyone's traveling, trying to get to the place at 4 o'clock. We're all frazzled, get into the room, we're talking. And so before we start the session, we have a 2.5 minute, we call it a centering exercise. So I've got an app which plays some music. So for 2.5 minutes, we close our eyes, we breathe. And I've now taken that into my own exec at Forbes Mazars. And
it works for them? They don't think you're a funny CEO?
I think they always think that I'm a funny CEO, but I think they appreciate that. At least we get, and I think everyone will tell you that, geez, I needed that. I can start now. It's a new start.
Okay, reset. I mean, you're looking good, body-wise. I mean, I know you told me you're not on Monjaro or Zempic. How's your diet like? What do you eat?
Yeah, so look, my diet, I do try to manage it. So I'll be honest, I'm not the most healthiest eater.
You eat what you like?
I eat what I like. I try to manage the quantity. I think that's important. Last year, I was on a complete gluten-free diet, and it was fantastic. The issue with it is obviously every once in a while you find yourself at a place where there's nothing that's not gluten-free. So I've also tried to tailor it to my life. So I try not to have too much gluten. I think that's the only thing. I love chips. I love French fries.
Why did you choose gluten? I mean, people have different things that they choose to eliminate. So some people will say not sugar. Some people will say not meat.
Yeah.
Why gluten?
Well, because gluten is the one that takes the longest to digest. So effectively, by not having it or cutting it out, I ended up having more energy. And I think that was one of the benefits. And then, of course, I lost a lot of weight. And I lost weight in the places that I needed to lose because, love handles are not the most beautiful thing, but really that has helped me. Yeah.
Love handles.
Tires.
Tires.
They still call it
Tires, Michelin tires on your waist are big. I mean, you're very high level on the diet story. I mean, as an Indian guy, I thought you brag about the spice, the biryani, and this and that. Let us eat.
Yeah. Well, so that's what I mean. That's my problem. I can't say no. So the gluten-free was fantastic until there was a roti there, and I'm like, yo, am I really going to give up on this one? So I think that's why I said, at some point I also need to live my life the way I want. I love Indian food, obviously. It's in my blood. So that's part of the problem of our diet. I don't eat many curries. I would say maybe twice a week maximum.
Okay.
And so I do try and manage the rest of the week in a reasonable fashion, put it that way. I eat a lot of protein. So look, I eat everything, so I'm not vegetarian. So I try to eat fish and chicken, some more white meats and proteins. I try to make sure that's in my diet. But I don't give up on French fries.
Okay, favorite.
My favorite, yeah.
And do you prepare your own meals, or are you Uber Eats guy?
Look, it's difficult cooking for yourself. So when my kids are there, I do dabble. But yeah, so that's part of my problem. It is that type of food. But look, I'll do simple things, So fish and Woolies is amazing. You can get anything you want, and you can get it for one person. I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
When you cook, you gotta cook for Well, you can cook for yourself, but then you have it for 4 days, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
There you are, Willis. So, I mean, you've been a cutthroat business, been around, and I'll tell you why I'm asking you this. Is I mean, what sort of big scandals, big issues you've seen, without mentioning the names that'll get you fired, that obviously impacted your sleep and the way you see things?
Look, I think, even if you are not implicated in anything, if the industry is going through something, we're all in trouble. So the issues with the Steinoffs and Tongaat and, all our scandals, they all pointed to the accounting profession.
The profession, yeah.
And then the profession is the thing that we are trying to continue and make it sustainable. So we started seeing that people don't want to do accounting anymore. People I don't have a pipeline of people that are interested. So those are big issues for us.
They're not interested because it's boring or because of the scandals that may come out of it.
Yeah, because remember, we were the CA designation was the number one for
The flavor of the...
for 7 years in South Africa. CASA, 7 years in the world was number one. Then the scandals hit, and then we lost that. So
That's going down, yeah.
yeah, but we're back now, by the way. So we're back
I don't know about you being back. I mean, what I see on social media and the news doesn't suggest that. I mean, I saw in the news and also on social media that Deloitte Australia used AI to write some of the reports. They got completely wrong. They had to throw them away and rework the whole thing. Which was like, I mean, financials, auditing firm, you trust AI with my own money and assets. I mean, that's, ground zero for me.
Don't you feel like that is the direction that it's going to take at some point? I mean, of course, there was some type of due diligence or review, quality assurance, something that should have happened in the mix there.
It didn't happen.
But I think that naturally, with professional services, that is the direction that it's going to take at some point.
Yeah, but the level of readiness and accuracy is still not there, and you need to take, due process and make sure that the final product is correct. I mean, that can impact somebody's stock price, somebody's earnings. Think about it. I mean, as my daughter can relate with you, when your brother was small, I was taking him to kindergarten, and he got to a stage where, look, nobody's going to dress me. I'm dressing myself. And I allowed it. But one day, I was getting late, and he was putting one button every 10 minutes. I mean, it was not going to bankrupt anybody, but the only risk was, kindergarten, there's no really time limit. You can bring at 9:30 and all that, but I was getting late to work. And I decided, look, put him on the counter, put on the buttons, we're going. Tomorrow is Saturday, you dress yourself. You take as much time as you like. That type of risk you can take. But with other people's money, set up like that, AI, which is not perfect yet. Directionally, I think AI is taking us somewhere else. But if my car has got this kind of professional driving. Sometimes it suggests that traffic is fine. I can just press, it will go. This is my life. That's on the line. I'm not going to do it,
Yeah, look, AI is very interesting. I agree with you. This is the way the world is going. It's about how do we keep the human in the loop, to make sure that you're verifying things, make sure that there is some sort of due diligence or assessment of what is coming out of it. But honestly, I don't think that the way our businesses are set up right now, in 2 years' time, I think it's going to be completely different. I think there's going to be new businesses. I think there's going to be, even our own operational model is going to be completely different. So if you ask me what's keeping me up at night, is that, because it's the firm that does it the quickest will change the model. And,
Yeah.
and it will be the one that's that either makes it or doesn't make it. So we'll see what happens.
And how are you, if you can say, as Forvis, readying yourself for that change?
Getting up for that.
Yeah.
So, look, I think the first step is skills, right? So, I mean, none of us, AI is a new thing. None of us know enough about it. So we're all skilling up to do that. I've just done a course at Harvard, an AI for business. Obviously, it was a basic one, but I think it just gives you a flavor of how other companies have done it. The Facebooks and Amazons of the world have been doing this for years, right? And it's all algorithms that create information, and that creates value. So I think this is, so we're skilling up our teams right now. We're starting to use Copilot, so we're on Copilot. I mean, that's the base, the first startup. We've also engaged on specific projects where we have developers start building some tools for us. Early days. But again, this is exactly what we were saying. We have 4 points where there's a human in the loop to see whether it will work and see whether the results are what we expect. And I think the biggest challenge is going to be, when are we ready to press the button and say, okay, it's ready?
Yeah, I mean, I think, it's impressive what you guys are starting to do and doing to get ready, getting up. But back to the example that I made with your brother, my son, trying to dress himself. There's some applications, I think, where you can let AI run wild and no issues now. But a lot of other places, you still need to put guardrails around it and make sure that you don't end up where you don't want to be, which is, where I think a lot of people get it wrong. I wouldn't like it that somebody write me a note to wish me whatever, birthday or something, and they use the AI. I mean, I just hate that. I like original stuff. And
authenticity.
Yeah, so if you're going to use AI, don't do it. Don't send it to me, so. And I think the Deloitte example is, one of those, which I think it's a good misstep that people need to see to take more, precautionary measures and do better, so that this continue to improve with time.
Look, I think it's happening. I mean, there's a lot of people are using AI, and I think there's also a lot of mistakes being made. It's just the big names will be the ones that get called out, right? I think that's what's the story. And it's Deloitte in Australia. So I don't think Deloitte don't want to speak for the firm, but it's difficult to roll out something globally unless you are 100% sure about it. So everyone has to start piloting at some point to get to that point, and there will be mistakes. Just have to make sure that you manage that.
Yeah, I mean, we recently interviewed Graham Codrington. He's a futurist, kind of a white man sangoma for the businesses to throw the bones and say future is going to look like this tomorrow, which he said is not exactly that. It's just preparing businesses to kind of see things as they come. And their work has been very effective in kind of demystifying what's coming tomorrow, but encouraging people to look forward. It's interesting stuff. So moving on, I mean, in the same light, what would you say are your braggables, your highlights in your career, personal lives, looking back?
Okay. So, look, I mean, I think, one of my, I'd say the braggable, and it was early in my my growth phase. Like I'd been one of the guys that had failed my honors year, at university, and it was. Look, I think it wasn't because I didn't try. I think that was the year that I tried really hard. I just happened to be one of those few that didn't get through. And my dad passed away that year after that.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah. So it was a big thing for me. Like, I wanted to see him, see me get through. So it was that following year I needed to work at PwC my first year, study and write 2 board exams that year, and try and catch up, because I had that opportunity of catching up. So I think that was a year that I was determined. I was determined to make sure that I got that under my belt that year. I think for me it was, this is one thing that I wanted to prove, not only for me, but even for my dad, that I can do it. So I would say that was maybe one of the biggest things that also showed me the type of determination that I have. And it's one of those things that I've taken through into my career. When I joined Forvis Mazars, so I was at PwC, I did my articles there, and then I went to Ernst & Young, I worked there in corporate finance for 5 years. And then I joined Mazars at that time to start the corporate finance. So,
okay.
So yeah, and I think those are the that journey of me pulling through and getting to this thing alone made me realize that, look, I've got something in me. I've got this fire, determination. I moved to Mazars because it's more entrepreneurial. I had the opportunity to build something from nothing. Yeah, and I mean, the first day I walked in there and I was looking, where's the rest of this office? Because I thought it was a bit bigger than that. But yeah, it was 65 people, and today we are close to 1,200 people. So
in South Africa?
In South Africa, yeah.
Wow, so you were there right in the beginning, foundational stages of building up this, call it a practice or company?
Yeah. No, it was very exciting. It was a time when there was this new Alltex listing. So look, I guess there is no perfect time, but I think for me it was the perfect time. I had the ability of growing with the market and with a new name. So when I joined, it was a firm called Moores Rowland.
Okay.
And they changed their name the next year to Mazars, which nobody had heard of. So it was almost like a complete clean sheet. Start working with that brand and start growing it. And look, I think obviously I've had a great team around me, and that's, I would say, maybe the biggest braggable is that as a team, we were able. At that point, we were maybe in the top 10 in South Africa. And today we are a number 6 firm in South Africa and Africa. So it's, I think it's a great achievement where we got to now.
Wow.
But I think with that journey, if I put myself in your shoes, walking out of big audit firms, big professional services firms into like a smaller company. And I've been in that situation, by the way, where I'm like,
That's PwC as well.
Is this it? There's only one coffee machine for everybody. There's only one floor for everybody. But any imposter syndrome in that experience, because that's like, I mean, you leave this huge organization and you walk into a smaller environment and you have to build something from scratch. I mean, I'm sure there's like some scaries attached to that, and how did you overcome and tackle that if you did experience any type of imposter syndrome?
Wow, like I feel like that all the time, imposter syndrome. Look, you're right, you come into this firm and all of a sudden now there's no tax department, you're the tax department.
Yes.
Right, so there's well, look, who's the forensics guy? Oh, no, we don't have forensics guy. Like, so,
you're going to be the guy.
Yeah. So, look, again, and I had an H-tip tax, right? And I think when I got hired at Moores Rowland, they probably thought that I will do both, corporate finance and tax. And I was like, no, guys, I'm not doing a tax opinion. So it was difficult. But at that point in time, we had offices across the country. So what I would do is try and find somebody in Cape Town who can do the tax for me, or find somebody in another office that can help me with the forensics work. But I was clear in my head that we couldn't continue to be this firm that everyone does everything. Because when everyone does everything, you never become specialist in anything, and you can never grow your name in the market. So I think that was so. Yes, it was difficult. And but I think we had the right pathway and the right vision, and fortunately, my partners at that time also saw the same vision.
Okay.
I mean, for me, as somebody who has done it, moved from a glass building, coffee machine everywhere, things happen, type environment. I think you almost need it, not so much to humble you, but to kind of know that things are built from the ground. I remember when I moved from Sanofi to BD, but I mean I just finished my MBA, and I could see the bigger picture of working in the continent and expanding, which was helpful for me. But then I lost my EA, the fridge in the office, and a lot of other stuff that were like, add-ons and privilege that I had. I had to do most of the things for myself, but everybody else in the company was doing most of the things. The good thing was I was leading the team, or part of the team that was like putting the whole together, putting the vision to get it to kind of a respectable level of functionality for a business.
Yeah.
Which I cherish those moments a lot, as opposed to, a company where you fill forms and ask for this and this and that, and talk to two people, things are done.
Yeah.
So.
No, but it is. You're right. It's very. It's tough, but enjoyable. I mean, look, I never other firms. I never needed to manage cash flow, right? All of a sudden now you're like, okay, now I'm going to recruit all these people because I need a tax person, I need this person, I need that person. Now you need to make sure that they get paid, right? So, and again, I think that was great learning, good for the growth, and as I said, we're a partnership, so we were able to say, guys, this is how it's going to work. We need to go find the work, and it became that was it. It became a clear direction of what we needed to do.
I mean, for me, what I've seen is as a CEO, when you make a decision, you're moving offices to a better, close to a house or wherever, you don't actually do it, but you get a team to do it and oversee it, which, before you just, had the offices moving, you're going to have an office, you don't get involved into the design, the colors and the flavor and all that, but you don't do it, but it's get done. It's kind of a, different level of involvement, which is, I think everybody deserves a chance to enjoy that, like moving into your own house, having to spec it up a little bit, small budget.
Yeah, look, we do. I mean, I think one of the pivotal moments for the firm actually was when we moved into our new offices in Glenove. That was about 7 years ago, and much bigger office, faced a beautiful golf course, and gave us the profile. I mean, again, it was about what are we telling the market? What type of business are we? Where are we moving to? But again, you're right. I didn't have I had a space planner, but the questions, all the decisions would come Say, okay, so what color do you want? Yellow, blue? so as much as you think you can just, if you're owner and if you're the managing partner, it's the thing that you have to do, you know? And of course, with building, it's never on time, and it was never on time. So I remember us, and I said, guys, we're moving in, and the 1st of May, there's no question. That's a date, finish. And 1st of May, sure enough, we were there, but there was scaffolding everywhere.
A lot of long list of snag lists.
Long snag lists. But look, I must say, like, it changed our culture, it's changed the vibe, it changed the energy. And even today, like, that building is one of probably the most beautiful buildings in the whole Mazars group globally, actually. We've got this beautiful view of a golf course. Eh?
That's how you feel about it. I'm going to ask you one more question. I don't know how many questions you still have, maybe 10. And then we give you a chance to kind of revenge and ask us some questions. Any regrets in life so far that you can call out right now?
You know, yeah, that's a difficult one. So the one thing my dad always told me, right? Never have regrets. That's the one thing that he left with me. So I do always think about that. So I try living my life, you know, that way. I can't think of anything. Maybe in the beginning part of my career was not spending enough time with the family. I think maybe that's, again, you're building a business, you're traveling a lot. I did an MBA, exec MBA, so it was like all compounded.
Was it, part of your challenge to divorce? Because some people say some MBAs are recipe for disaster if you want divorce. When you're married to MBA, you'll see stars.
Yeah, look, I think everything contributes to that, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I think in that early period, I mean, I had 2 young kids, and I traveled a lot, and I did the MBA, and I was building a business. So I think
never home.
I didn't spend enough time, with the family and with the kids. I think that was
So big regret.
I think it is a regret. Yeah.
Or maybe a big opportunity cost, right? Because I think it came with a different upside.
Energy.
Yeah.
Exactly. I had to put it somewhere. Right?
Yeah, but yeah, of course, there's an opportunity cost with every decision.
Sure.
Cool. Any more questions?
No, I think that's it from me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any questions to us? Comments, parting shots?
No, look, I think this is good what you're doing. I really enjoyed it. I thought, I told you, accountants don't stand in front of cameras. But, I enjoyed this casual chat. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for making the time to be with us. I really appreciate us getting to know you differently, and also that we wipe you all together.
Great.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This was lovely.
Thank you so much.